discussing, of course, so what can really be the result of these talks is, up for discussion and debate. And as Major General J.D. Bakshi said, not much can be expected from the Chinese because they haven't already honored what has happened in the past. Major Gauravare also wanted to come in here.
Oh, absolutely. Like General G.D. Bakshi very rightly said, Shivani, all your agreements, 93, 95, 2005, the Chinese have torn those pieces of paper and thrown them into the wind. As far as we are concerned, they should stand null and void. I do not know what we hope to achieve by these talks, because talks in the past have led to nothing. There was an uneasy calm across the line of actual control. Now, I am not a big votary for war. I am not saying go to war, either with China or with Pakistan or with anybody. But yes, if the question is military, the answer too must be military. While we have taken a great step of, banning 59 odd apps. Now, this is one answer, and I'm not sort of belittling this answer. It's a great answer, no doubt, and I totally support and endorse it. But I'm also saying, Shivani, that we must understand that the problem in Ladakh, now they're trying to spread it to other parts of the line of actual control. This needs a hard response, because that is what China understands. We are trying to explain to China in the language we speak. I think that is incorrect. We need to explain it to China in the language China understands. And that is not what we have been doing. We must come back with force. If there is a limited, and when I say limited, I mean in that area of either Galwan or Pangong Tso Lake, if there is a limited sort of conflict is the wrong word, Shivani, but if there is a limited face-off in which the Chinese can be pushed back, it will send a very strong message to the Chinese. And what are we afraid of? We have an army, we have a battle-hardened army. Chinese do not have a battle-hardened army. They haven't fought a war successfully for so many decades. Now, or not fought a war at all. Forget about successfully. They've not fought a war for so many decades. Now, what I'm asking Shivani here is one direct question, right? If the question is military, how can the answer be in some other language?
You're saying that there is any other solution currently but military here?
No, I'm saying there are various. You see, the national power profile. The national power profile is diplomatic, it's economic, it's so many things, and the answer can be given it can be given in any shape. It can be economic answer, it can be a diplomatic answer. I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is that in Ladakh specifically,
it's currently a military situation.
It's currently a military standoff. It's not a diplomatic standoff. It's military facing military. Now, what would you have your military do? That is my question.
Okay, Major General G.D. Bakshi, I have very limited time, but please go ahead if you wanted to add something.
I completely agree with Gaurav. You look, a military provocation ultimately will have to be answered militarily. You can take a whole range of diplomatic, non-military options, but you cannot allow China to force its strategy onto yours. They want a non-military solution. They want to cow you down by just military posturing. So if you want to break the logjam, because they are not listening to reason, they are not listening to your talks, they are not agreeing to anything, and whatever they agree to, they violate on the ground. So we will have to keep the military kinetic options open, and I find that a limited engagement, a limited military kinetic engagement is the answer. Nothing else will really work. You can keep trying it, we can keep ratcheting up the response, but we have to ultimately give it a military answer to a military problem.
Okay, let me take quick comments from both Sriram Chaulia and Pradeep Bhandari as well. Pradeep, very quickly.
No, I think I agree with it, but I'm just trying to say that we need to look at holistically. Military response is being given on where the experts like Major Gauravare and General G.D. Bakshi are saying, but China is also an economic bubble, and it is extremely important that at this moment the world has a resolve to burst this economic bubble and provide an alternate, because China, a dictator, has used all democratic means and of free trade and available in order to boost its economy, and that has hurt the other countries rather than give them that much benefit.
I think also at one level, India doesn't want, of course, to be seen as someone and a country, Sriram, that doesn't believe in the diplomatic channel. So we will, of course, keep that open. That doesn't, of course, preclude the fact that India can take any military action to defend itself. Sriram, very quickly, please.
Yeah, Shivani, the world understands. In fact, the world is increasingly concerned about this aggression by China. So, limited strike and operations here and there will not harm our cause. But on the economic front, one thing is for sure: China is struggling to emerge from the corona, the meltdown, and their exports are all lying, in big container ships of their ports like Tianjin. Nowhere to go and nothing to sell anywhere. Their economy is not looking so great for a rebound right now. So if we pile on the pressure now with more measures to restrict trade, especially their predatory exports of cheap air conditioners and TV sets and plastics and toys and electronic items, I think they will see it, because they are very concerned about whether they can meet the basic GDP growth targets of the Communist Party. So Chinese do a long-term game, they think in terms of years or even decades or centuries. We should also be prepared for a long-term standoff. I mean, the LAC, even if we restore status quo ante, which we want, and our military is ready for it, on the other hand, this is going to be a long-term, strategic competition. Let us show an aggressive and put a, front foot forward and say, we are a big market, you want our market, you dare not.
I think you're right, Sriram. I think we cannot expect that we're going to do a few things for a few days and then expect that everything will be back to normal. Indians should also be made aware that till the 1990s, India and China, Pradeep, economically were doing roughly the same.
Exactly.
It's only after the 1990s, which is just 30 years ago, that they completely shot off in a very different trajectory than India. And of course, India has some catching up to do, but it is something that takes time. And Indians, as people also, as citizens also, have to be ready for a long-term standoff with China, in which eventually we have to come up higher, both militarily and economically.